Hello, this is Corey the Keyblade Wielder, and we're back for another commentary. Non-Disney Villains Tournament Round 3. Let's get this started. First fight. Kaldor versus Skullmaster. In the description, Kaldor is looking for a scepter that he found in this lair that belongs to Skullmaster. And now it's a fight between these two. If you guys don't know where Kaldor is from, he's from the 2002 version of He-Man, the same He-Man cartoon that Moonwood 73 Windman used for Disney versus non-Disney villains. And I don't know who Skullmaster is. I think he's from like Mighty Max or something like that. And oh, got an acid on his face, and Skullmaster wins. Next fight, Papatina versus Fusali. Description: Screw Eyes is auditioning for the circus family, and these two are auditioning to be puppet masters. I have seen Courage the Cowardly Dog when I was a kid, and I actually liked that cartoon, and yeah, it scared the heck out of me at times with the scary monsters and the animation style, and yeesh! It's one of the only Cartoon Network shows I do watch. There's Courage the Cowardly Dog, Ed, Edd and Eddy. I think there's a few I might have missed. But I do watch one of the modern ones, like Adventure Time, Steven Universe, and Over the Garden Wall. That's a really good miniseries. You can guys watch it. And yikes! That's still scary. Next fight, Saruman and Smog versus Almadon and Byrog. And Saruman had traveled to the mountains to ask Almadon about the location of the One Ring, but Almadon mocks him. Again, I've never seen the animated Lord of the Rings movie. I never knew it existed. Okay, I have seen every single Disney animated movies. I have not seen every single non-Disney animated movies except for a few. I have never seen the animated Lord of the Rings. I never saw The Flight of Dragons. But I have seen the animated Hobbit movie when I was like a wee little baby. And it's been forever since I've seen it. He kind of looks like he has the head of a chihuahua, don't he? Whoa! Must have something he ate. You shall not pass! I know it's a line that Gandalf said, but I just want to say it. Just makes it funnier. Whoa, and Saruman wins. Next fight, Lord Malice versus Nightmare Moon? In description, Rothbard sends Lord Malice to find whoever killed Clavius and Zelda, and he believes it might be Nightmare Moon. Really, out of all the people, you think Nightmare Moon? Don't you think it could be someone else? Yeah, History Buff was actually rooting for Lord Malice to win, but it's like, well, I'm not an idiot. That pony villain is really popular. She's probably going to be around in more rounds. I thought, well, actually, she has 2 episodes. This was back before MLP made more episodes for her. Yeah, there's no main villains. They're just minor villains. Yeah, most pony villains only want to bring darkness and chaos and just death upon the world. That's pretty dark for a kid's show. For My Little Pony. And hold on. And Lord Malice wins. Next fight. Dracula versus Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. In description, Dracula is visiting London of his associate, but he spots a woman, but it turns out to be the Queen that is associated with Dr. Jekyll. I actually like the story. I mean, this is probably what Miss Mephiles 101 Horror Catgirl might like. 2 monsters fighting each other. Legendary monsters. That's Dr. Jekyll, and the problem is that he and Mr. Hyde are both one and the same. That normal one is Mr. Hyde, who is the good one, And the one we see is the evil Mr. Hyde. I'm not sure what version this Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is from, but I actually want to see where he's from. He looks intimidating and interesting. It's good fight, though. Whoa! Dracula, you need a makeover. And Dracula wins. And next fight, Rolo versus Zarton, or whatever that dude's name is. In description, he needs to send a message to the Black Knights of Cobra taking them down, but he soon spots Rolo. Yeah, interesting fight. Think about Code Geass. The Geass is connected to like the brain and the heart. Lelouch has the power of the Geass to mind control people with his left eye. Rolo can stop time with his brain, but whenever he does that, his heart stops for a few minutes, but he needs to take a break from it. But he does it multiple times, like 100 times, he would die. It's pretty interesting seeing Rolo here. And now using his time freezing powers to kill Zarton. Yikes. Rolo wins. Next fight, Belmont and his men versus Maximilian Pegasus. In description, Belmont and his men after they betrayed Shendua. Now how the heck did that happen? We never saw that! And Vlad gets Belmont to be possessed by a certain spirit that is not Shendu. But to test the power, they have to fight Maximilian Pegasus. And I have seen Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a pretty good anime, actually. Out of all the animes from 4Kids dub, this one's a pretty decent one. He was actually the main villain of the first season of Yu-Gi-Oh! But it turns out he made a deal with the real main villain just because he wants to save his girlfriend from death. Or wants to bring his girlfriend back from the dead. And the weird part is most of his Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards are cartoony ones. I guess he made something to make them look all cartoony like they're from Looney Tunes. An anime villain obsessed with cartoons? Tell me more, that's interesting. Oh, that's a weird one. Whoa. And Belmont wins. Next fight, Teknus versus Karabolomon or whatever his name is. Oh, now we get to use the freaked out Einstein version of Teknus. One thing I learned from History Buff is that in the Japanese version of Digimon, he's actually Diablomon, which is Spanish for the devil. But until the English dub company wanted to change the name to be more kid-friendly, so they don't want to make it controversial, which to me is actually pretty stupid. But I'm just gonna call it Diablomon versus Teknus, because that's how evil that Digimon villain is. And Mach is helping him out and helping this Digimon fight Teknus. Pretty good music. You got give credit to the people who made these songs. Try not to use it too much, or you might not use any perfect ones for fights, so you might not ran out in description. Interesting using the Snow Queen as Necron's bride. I mean, he's never married. He never won a queen. Like, what? All of a sudden he wants a hot, sexy wife or something? What made him change his mind? And he rules the Ice Nation. Okay. Oh boy, and the Nazis. And that's Rip Van Winkle. And it's kind of weird. Rip Van Winkle, a woman in there. And hold on. The Major's first lieutenant takes over a large fleet of ships in the Atlantic Ocean, making a perfect connection between the growing European Nazi Empire and America. Yeah, that's scary to think about it. Nazis might take over America would be scaring me. They might do it, I'm pretty certain. And Dracula meets with Belmont, who is an associate of his and a member of the Legion of Darkness. Kind of odd. And Cobra Commander meets with What's the dude's name? Oh yeah, Mao. Mao is basically for Code Geass. His power of the Geass is mind reading. He can read your thoughts and mind. He can know what you're thinking. He knows what you're planning. He knows whatever you're gonna do. He's gonna use it, turn it against you. He can read your memories of the past, present, and he'll know what you're gonna do in the future. He's a mind reader, and that what makes Lelouch a big threat for him. And he's helping him to fight Lelouch. Oh, and all the experiments that Mach has experimented on, they make it an alliance and want to take down Mach. And that is not General Moonwood I know. I didn't know where that version is from. That was weird. And now they're planning to have animals dominate the world. Now it's the planet of the animals. And Dr. Robotnik kidnaps Sonic after hearing El Supremo's death. And what? Sonic! Sonic, no! Oh no. And Eris gives Ramesses all the One Ring. Okay. I did thought of the idea of Ramesses holding the One Ring. That was one of them. And it's cool. Now he's gonna be corrupted fully of the One Ring to become all evil. And in the Prince of Egypt, he wasn't always the villain. I mean, yeah, he's a bad guy, but he's not... I mean, he is a bad guy. He's a complex bad guy. He never wanted to hurt his brother. He never wanted to. But he was jealous, is upset because his brother wanted to free his people, but not come back to his family. He doesn't care if he's Hebrew or not. But after hearing that he only came back to his people and leave, that's what broke his heart. I mean, yeah, in the Bible it said he was a cold dictator, but in DreamWorks, they made them more human. That's what I love about Prince of Egypt. And I'm not going to go into the controversy and stuff, but I am a Christian. I do read the Bible, and I do believe in God and Jesus. But seeing Ramesses with the One Ring, that'll make him even evil, like Ramesses and Sauron. Oh, when Lelouch meets up with his alliance, like Suzaku. And that dude who has the hots for Lelouch's mom for some reason that's kind of odd, or that's his servant. Oh, and Kaldor becomes Skeletor. Yeah, Kaldor and Skeletor... Well, Kaldor was Skeletor, and now he is Skeletor. Well, before he was Skeletor, he was known as Kaldor, but he became Skeletor because of Hordak. So, yeah, that was non-Disney Villains Tournament Round 3. So, yeah, this is Corey the Keyblade Wielder. May your heart be your guiding key. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe.